Since you guys were able to find me at this time, this means it's time to go to bed. Why not join us in building a snow-covered landscape to relieve stress and promote sleep? I guarantee you'll forget all your troubles and slept soundly until dawn. Fast charge your phone when the battery is below 25%. Cover yourself with a blanket. Let's begin today's bedtime story. The man in front of me is named Batlov. Because he was penniless, he couldn't give his girlfriend a home. So he pulled the sled to Siberian forest. We want to build a unique wedding room here. He first cleared the snow off the ice. Drive a bolt into the ice. Screw the Start cutting ice around the bolt. Here the first solemnly worn bowsy. Wilderness survival skills are always protected by professional teams. Please do not imitate this. Bart secured the mercury-like wooden board with 2 ice blocks. Then continue cutting large quantities of ice, building by using templates. During this period, fill the gaps with white snow to set the shape. It won't take more than a few minutes. The ice blocks were frozen at minus 40 degrees Celsius, the first ring of walls forming the igloo. Because building a house requires a lot of bricks, Bart quickly got to work and continued collecting. But even though the post office was smoking, the account wasn't frozen. Left with no other choice, he had to go back to his hometown. It is a huge investment to purchase a new piece of equipment, because the temperature is too cold. When he returned to the camp, the lake's surface has been covered with a thick layer of ice again. Therefore, Bart must speed up construction. Only then can it keep up with the speed of freezing. The construction of igloos seems simple. It's actually not easy. As he worked day and night, this is how a 1-bedroom, 1-living-room space was formed. The gaps between the arches. Then, it is necessary to use lake water mixed with ice shavings. Seal them up one by one. Only then can the airtightness of the wall be guaranteed. After the front end space is completed, he began building the wall behind the house. The bricks were still constructed using a mixture of ice and water. Each brick needs to be cut into a bevel. Only then can the wall be gradually reduced inward to form a round bottom. But the real gate resembled a dog hole, mainly to reduce the intrusion of cold air and heat loss. Because I plan to stay here for a long time, 1 floor is far from enough. Bart made several infantry steps on one side. I'm planning to build a loft online. He worked through the night to process and rush produce a platform. The nighttime temperature dropped to minus 47 degrees Celsius. It almost froze into an ice sculpture. Fortunately, all the sacrifices were worthwhile. The platform's stability exceeded his expectations. Basketballs played on it can remain completely still. So he hurriedly prepared ice blocks. Continue building the second floor walls. It is also constructed using a robust mercury-like structure. However, due to load-bearing considerations, the size of the ice cream brick is much smaller than the one below. He installed a pre-drilled OSB board on the side. Cover the outside with ice and snow, forming the wall surface for installing fireplace. The igloo has already provided travel arrangements for this matter. However, considering the issue of heat preservation, Bart is still prepared to put in more effort. Cover the steps with a stairwell. This way, people can move up and down without getting frozen. But in order to enjoy the outdoor scenery, he specifically left a window at the platform in case the aurora borealis appears. You won't miss the rare, beautiful scenery. At this point, the igloo is ready for occupancy. Let's take a look at the interior. After inspecting his masterpiece, Bart added several pieces of furniture to the room. Install the fireplace for heating. Next, we went to the ice to fish. I'll first experience living alone in Ying. In a short while, dry burning caused fine dust to fall. Bart quickly gathered his strength in the present. A package of ready-made salmon was all it took to hook them. It has to be said, it is true that the god who controls this river ate something. Get things done. Back to the igloo. He chopped the fish into minced meat. Add onions and cilantro to make dumpling filling. Unfortunately, he doesn't know how to make dumplings. You can only use 2 sheets of dough to press the filling into a pancake. Pan fry until golden brown on both sides, then remove from the pan. At that moment, his girlfriend's voice came from outside. He excitedly peered out the window. It turned out the dog had smelled the aroma of food. He brought his girlfriend along too. That's fine. Peaceful solitude. It turned into a cozy candlelight dinner. From then on, Bart, he and his girlfriend then began a shameless and carefree life. Siberia, it's brisk. This dude, a 3-day weekend warrior, built a hut that tells frostbite to buzz off. It's made of 100% tree. No IKEA here. Inside, it's a spacious 10-ish square meters. And it even has a fireplace. So you can basically move in forever. Anyway, let's get comfy and watch this guy do all the work. Our hero, Sean, is at it again. He found a spot that wasn't too lumpy and immediately started digging. He used a tape measure. What a pro. Then he dug a fancy rectangle. Luckily, the dirt was cooperative. So, this part wasn't completely terrible. He dug all day and all night. The man was a digging machine. He could not be stopped. The next day, it got really, really cold. And of course, it started snowing. Despite his screaming muscles, Sean finished his fancy dirt rectangle. But stopping is for the weak. Time to actually build something. Around the edges, he dug more, smaller holes for posts. Then he went log shopping in the woods and sawed them into not-so-giant pieces. These logs, perfect for a prehistoric condo. He plants them in some pre-dug holes. Then he packs it all in with dirt. You can tell by how straight these are. Sean's shelter won't be falling over anytime soon. But since he's a one-man show, doing literally everything himself, this is taking forever. And cue the Siberian blizzard. Suddenly, the world is vanilla-flavored. This is, shall we say, suboptimal. What can you do? Sean's new deadline is immediately time to raise the roof, literally. He slaps some logs on top and secures them with good OL nails. And just like that, the world is covered in white. The temperature has officially left the chat. And the forecast says, more cold. Thankfully, the skeleton of his house is up. But the sun's going down. So it's time to clock out for the night. Fast forward to morning. The snow has finally stopped its tantrum. Spoiler, still freezing. Time to put a lid on this thing. Stacking logs, higher and higher. His grand design, a pointy roof, which requires a whole lot of nails. So it doesn't, fall down. Next up, exterior walls. Locking the logs in one by one to ensure Sean stays safely inside. The weather here is famously unpleasant, so walls are a pretty good idea. Sure, the inside is a bit cramped, but it's enough. And now back to the roof. Shaving the logs into a nice slope. Then he hauls them up for installation. You can tell, Sean's pouring his heart into this cabin. I mean, he actually has to sleep here. Each log gets secured to the very top. Then he trims the messy bits for a clean look. With the dawn of day 2, Sean went to the store for some mechanical muscle. This whole manual labor thing was getting old. His wallet cried, but he had no choice. These new tools, for a guy who wasn't exactly wealthy, stung the bank account a little. But compared to cutting boards by hand, the new chainsaw is a glorious beast. In under an hour, Sean, the human sawmill, is done. But first, time to plug the gaps. Moss would be ideal, but who has time for that? Sean needs to move in yesterday. Enter the can of magic goo. After a quick foam party, every last crack is filled. The wind has been officially evicted. On to the next challenge. Attaching all this wood to other wood. No crooked business allowed. The man's precision is intense. It's so perfect. It's almost annoying. Next, a giant blue hat for the roof. This tarp keeps things toasty and gives melting snow the boot. Behold, the master of wilderness, looking at his handiwork. Sean is quite pleased. That's the face of pure, unadulterated smug. Time to build a floor. Because this is Siberia, the ground is basically iced lava. He lays down a couple logs, slaps some planks on top. This avoids getting a frozen backside. But the cracks between the floorboards still need a little love. All right. Think you could build this? Don't. Staring at your own handiwork is the best kind of smug. A solid wood floor. Won't fall through, probably. Priority 1, where to sleep. He wrangles some logs into a bed frame. Then, slaps some planks on top, bed. Placing these vertically is a classic make it look bigger trick. Time for the all-important flop test. It fits like a human-sized glove. With the leftovers, he builds a little welcome stoop. Then, he casually whips up a door. He pops it in. Perfect fit. Of course it is. Now, for the fancy stuff. Hinges. And a handle. Luxury. No rest for the ridiculously handy. Sean's making the rest of us look bad. The sun's going down. The shack's not finished. So, he's just gonna go home. The next morning, he's back at it. That first step is a bit of a doozy. So he adds another, smaller step. And naturally, it's a perfect fit. Somewhere in Siberia, probably. Inside the man, a cabin's just a cold box without a fire. He whips out the family fireplace, as one does. Time to poke a hole in the roof, for reasons. One tiny little crucial detail. This whole place is basically a tinderbox. So let's maybe not burn it down immediately. Chop, chop. Fire needs food. Let there be fire. And let there be mood lighting. Smoke signals suggest success. The cabin is now officially cozy. Time to celebrate with wilderness pasta. Sean is peak happy. In a hut he hammered together himself. About to eat some carbs. This is the life. Pan, hot. Action, go. In go the onions and their tomato pals. Now for the main event, cow. Cook for 10 minutes or so. Boil those twisty pastas. I gotta admit, this guy can cook. Bellyful. Time to prep the midnight fire food. Food, coma, initiated. Good night. But when the food coma fails, behold, premium anti-insomnia, snow construction. It's basically NyQuil for your eyeballs. You'll be dreaming in no time, guaranteed. Psychic guess, your phone battery is at 63%. If I'm right, drop a comment. Let em know I'm a wizard. Okay, enough yapping. Zip it. Let the snow therapy begin. Our destination. The world's chillest Siberian forest. A balmy -80 degrees. Our hero, Cywin, lugs his gear, wading into the frozen beyond. Turns out, waist-deep snow is hard to walk in. Who knew? To avoid the evening's snow needs to find a crash pad, ASAP. Carrying all this junk is exhausting. Then, a miracle. A fixer-upper cave. A closer look reveals a spacious, open-concept interior. Seven is absolutely thrilled. Because this thick rock wall is basically Mother Nature's insulation. Move in. He must first shovel the snowy driveway. Time for the official inspection. The indoor space is a perfect bachelor pad. Uh-oh, blizzard's coming. Time for 7 to play lumberjack. The slope is not his friend. This is a literal uphill battle. To avoid becoming a popsicle overnight, it's pretty important to have a door, duh. He finds some nearby rocks to plug the holes in his stick. To keep the wind from gate crashing. 7 grabs nature's cork, moss. This moss is the perfect cup. Time to install the heat maker. The chimney pipe goes in the chimney hole. Bonus, this also prevents dying in your sleep. The other wall, same deal. Seven looked upon his creation and thought, not bad. Next up, he found some non-wonky pieces of wood lying around and chopped M to the same size. Then he slaps a door frame together. Like a glove. To tell wild animals no vacancy. He pops a lamp out front. A primitive but effective security system. The fire is lit. The perpetually snowy mountain range. It's alive. The fire demanded tribute. So Seven had to chop more wood and haul it inside like a pack mule. Ah, the sweet smell of not freezing to death. The sun clocked out for the day, because sleeping on the ground is for rookies. Seven built himself a luxury log bed. He arranged the logs with surgical precision. The goal, a 5-star, slightly splintery sleep. Time for some artisanal boiled water. He rescued the lantern from the scary outside. Outside, 100% chance of monsters. Inside, a cozy, monster-free zone. He briefly fluffed his log pile to keep the precious heat from escaping. He stuffed the door gap with laundry. Genius. The fort was now officially cozy. He sipped his hot, flavorless tea. And now, for some wilderness gastronomy. Seven prepared to work his culinary magic. Fun fact, hunger is the best seasoning. Because at this point, you'd eat your own shoe. Nothing's more important than dinner, except maybe bears. This is his hashtag wilderness vibes moment. Far from annoying emails. Stress, just poof, gone. You can feel the serenity from your couch, right? Ah, sweet, mosquito-filled tranquility. Firewoods, crackling. Seven is out cold. Ding, you leveled up. Welcome to the final boss, staying up too late. Can't sleep. Then watch this guy build stuff in the snow. We guarantee it'll bore you right to sleep. As is tradition, if you're here, make some noise. Grab your phone, as long as it has 65% battery. And let's get chill. Meanwhile, in the frigid land of Ionia, everything is covered in a butt-ton of snow. Sick of his 9 to 5, Kevin is going full-on hermit again. This is the only way he can forget about his TPS reports. Walking through this is leg day. He finds a conveniently epic-looking tree. Decides, I'll live here now. Cause Kevin's been binging primitive technology videos. He's basically an expert now. His grand plan, use all this snow to build a house made of snow. Genius. Tax the snow with gusto. Since the house is made of snow, finding materials is pretty darn easy. Construction speed, maximum. As Kevin's shovel-swinging marathon continues, behold, my magnificent snow pile. He artfully draws a door with a stick, then begins the shoveling. So much shoveling. Several centuries later, the luxury ice cave is finished. Look at all this room for activities. A cozy studio apartment for one. Ah, the comfort of a snow mattress. He'll either sleep great or become a human popsicle. Home, sweet frozen home. Time to unpack the pocket-sized volcano. Some assembly required. Don't want the house to melt. It is, after all, a brisk -30 degrees. Without this tiny stove, he'd be a permanent resident by morning. Froosh, we have fire. Suddenly, the ice cave achieves peak coziness. And now, for some 5-star wilderness chow. Kevin is one happy, non-frozen camper. In the house he built with his own 2 hands. Eating something hot. This is pure bliss. Dinner always smells best after manual labor. Probably because you've been freezing all day. Right now, food is more important than oxygen. This is it, the pinnacle of not dying out here. Belly full, survival instincts on low. The food coma arrives. And time for a nap. Passing out to nature's AS. And it's morning. Time to brew the survival juice. This moment is brought to you by no Wi-Fi, no traffic, no emails. And poof, the stress is gone. You're getting relaxed just watching this, aren't you? Ah, sweet, sweet tranquility.